Good morning, friends. Welcome to this session on a very important topic.
Is the garden. Similarly, an economic garden can flourish only if the fencing around it is tall enough to find out something beyond a balance sheet. They carve out a list of chartered accountants spread across India of accounts. Friends, I will only say that talim nahi di jati, one of the features that has strengthened it. Friends, a forensic audit is a deep accounting check to examine and evaluate an entity's financial. There are many uses of forensic audit. Forensic audit represents an area of finance dissemination. There are many more purposes for which forensic audit has now become useful. Normally, forensic auditors dig deep into financial reports to locate transactions, to figure out what happened and who is the real culprit behind a fraud that has taken place in a company. And takeovers as well. Investors, that do turnarounds or takeovers of businesses also need an in-depth understanding with us as a weapon to deter frauds and deceits. To exude confidence globally, India must detect, prevent, and regulate the menace of fraud in its economy. Friends, investors don't invest in banana republics. You have seen Afghanistan's GDP is only $20 billion. Ours is forensic laws, digital forensics, data extraction, digital forensics, cyber crime, ethical hacking, and of course, digital incident response to conduct cyber forensic audits. Cyber forensic audit is a subject in itself, which we will discuss in some of the seminar. And before we again going too deep into a forensic audit, there is another audit focuses on sections 43, 45, 49, 50, and 66 of IBC. Now, these are sections, when it is, gone for protection under IBC. Under section 43, funds diverted to related entities and not utilized for business purposes can be declared void by NCLT. Under section 46, undervalued dubious transactions carried out. First, to find out and disclose the transactions as they were entered in the books of lender, bank, or client. Suppose bank has given a term loan, it will show a term loan account statement. So you have verified that it is a term loan availed by the party. Now you cross-check that bank account statement with the cash book of the borrower, repayable in 5 years, and he has utilized that money towards acquisition of capital assets, then it is something which is in order. 2017. And to be true to you, out of this 81, we could declare only 9 as fraud accounts. So what Mr. Arvind Mohan was telling, that these forensic audits declare everybody as a fraud, is probably to be understood in this perspective, that whatever meets the eye is not true. There was a boy who was driving on the walking arena side. Some thelas, some hawkers, they also got injured on Berserk. Somebody complained to police, and a policeman came in his motorcycle and speeded up and brought his motorcycle before the car and was challaned. So police had taken away that license and given him a small receipt of acknowledgement of having taken away the license. So he said, oh sorry, sir, my license is with the police itself. Then, from this briefcase, he pulled out a medical certificate. That medical certificate was issued by a doctor who said that this guy is permitted to consume forensic audit. We find that everybody says, all bankers, lenders say that this party has done this is wrong, that is wrong, and they are, siphoning off funds. When we go deeper into things, we find there is a business management failure, there is a business plan failure, there is a failure because of the conditions, because of Corona. See the business premises, conduct physical verification of assets, You have to analyze their share capital, how it has been created, what checks were given, to bring in capital, which accounts were debited, whether promoters' accounts were really debited with those checks. Then you have to analyze what are the unsecured loans, whether these are the loans, trade receivables, and then whether he is disclosing all the information as per company law, because he is compliant as per company law, is also important part of a forensic audit report. And of course, summary giving a conclusive opinion. For most of the forensic audit reports are getting rejected by lenders because headquarters in Munich, Germany. I was sitting outside the reception gate when I saw such a petrol pump type units outside the gate of the factory itself. It's were actually, taking in a part of the raw material which was being brought on the trucks of the factory were opened. Otherwise, the gates were not opened and the entire truck had to go back. See, this is the way human touch has been removed and quality raw material being sourced. So there is no chance of any collusion, human collusion, or under quality supplying in Germany over it. I immediately asked Diksha Puller to stop. I said, you please remove these bags. I want to count and I want to see what is inside floor. There, I saw that major portion of the rejected material which was not being used and which was being cut because of the oversize was again being fed the entire factory. I found only 11. I said, where are the other 8? He said, sir, first he told me lie that they've gone for repair. Then when I fired him, he said, sir, those are installed in his, uncle's factory. They are not here. Then I said, he's taking depreciation benefits every year and the machines are working somewhere else. Invoice. The invoice was pertaining towards supply of raw material, this payment. And then I started examining the sundry creditors. I got from the happenings there that most of the sundry creditors were not explainable. In 1 week, we are, sending 1 or 2 trucks without any invoice also because the owner wants it. And this good is being sold in Kashmiri Gate automobile market in Delhi, and the owner gets in cash. So this was the state of affair in an Indian factory by the client or the bank. Must provide advice to prevent the recurrence of fraud. Most of the audit report, forensic audit reports, they do not comment on how this could be avoided because they feel that their opinion probably might be not acceptable. But whatever they feel like, they should say, because this is forensic audit is a nation building, okay, or representation of management. But forensic auditors are required to carry out the independent verification of suspected or selected items. They can go into Tally, dig out a voucher, see the signature where the person who has signed is authorized, then see the use of the fund. You take a loan for machinery and simply use it for working capital or acquiring your home. Road roller, long ago to a contractor. It was a big iron machine, which rolls the road. He brought that and he sold the road roller for a huge amount. So then, he went on saying, no, sir, I think it was only this road roller in my balance sheet. And when we dug out the bills and showed him that this was not so, and this much depreciation over the years you've taken, he was then, caught. Similarly, when you want to injure, you will not even understand. So these are, external frauds. The primary purpose of forensic audit, as you all know, is to find out a fraud. Audit. There are a huge number of challenges. I know I have to work for months together. Forensic audit conducted. The records which will be made to you will be deliberately inadequate. The files will be deprived of most of the important information. They will take away, they will steal away those important documents from the balance sheet to confuse you. Then you will find circular transactions, one associate to another subsidiary to previous one, and then some cancellation of orders. Asked whether you have to pay, he will shout, he'll say no, he has to actually get from the company. Files are here, and you just read them, or then derive some conclusion. So there is absolutely no support from banks also about the account. You tell him, okay, we will examine. You come back after a few days. After a few days, he comes. That will be treated as a second visit. We have analyzed this dealer is not okay. He's not the genuine dealer. We will not supply, or this dealer is okay. The margin money is okay. We went through your CIBIL. We find you have a lot of other loans, so we will not be able to give you 5 lakhs. We'll give you 4 lakhs. On third visit, Bundesbank Germany says that you have to give the loan. If you do not give the loan on third visit, he has the well and given a shape of a report, because your report goes to management, banks, law enforcement agencies, and courts as exhibit. Further, RBI has permitted the borrowers now. This is the latest development which has happened, friends, or it is not there. Go to the factory and do some ABC analysis. See whether the cheapest 2 rupee nut bolt is also entered properly and written off properly when it is used. Public demand research, shareholding, promoter details, key management persons of the corporate debtor, and their associate concern. You have to study various aspects of the financials, evaluate bank statements to understand nature and fund flow of transactions. You have to analyze data. Forensic audit, actually is the analysis of data. A lot of softwares have now come. The affairs of the company. First day itself, we said that the CEO cannot operate from home. Let him come to the office. He came to the office and gave a 20,000 euro bill per month for salary, whereas he was drawing only 2,000 euros working from home. And other concerns, because whether they are in-house companies where he's just recycling the funds and diverting it from there, you have to analyze. Transaction testing and verification of supporting documentation has to be done, and fund diversion from corporate debtor to any other businesses. Normally what will happen is the daughter comes back from London, son comes back from US, he'll simply debit 5 crore to his existing cash credit account, and then ask them to open some other business where the society has been financially deprived for very, very long. We are just coming out of penury, poverty, inadequacies. Yes, wooden house is a big concept. A lot of people, after the Friday afternoon, take their family cars and spend their time, value time with the families in wooden houses outside the city. A large amount of wood, building material. He had booked spaces, taken land on lease. He was totally flabbergasted. This will be the last house you built for me. So very hesitatingly, he said, okay, tell me the site. He did. And after completing that, he came back and gave the key to the owner. He said, now.
And Dr. Bhoi is a very senior economist. He is RBI chair professor in Utkal University, a prolific writer, and he has also been head of the monetary policy department in RBI. The sessions, we are organizing 2 sessions to cover important interview topics, which will be taken by get you marks. Even if they don't get you marks, as soon as the results they come from of the written test, sizing their choice, but they should download the brochure and be ready so that they are able to register immediately, because we may not be able to accommodate many people in these sessions, because group discussion has to be a limited affair only. So if we have many candidates, we may organize 2-3 sessions or for group discussion.
Deliberately indulging into the wrongdoings, such situations will definitely occur. But use that how the other than, out of the banking industry, you can get the signals from the various data which are available. Now, data science companies are available, which are giving you the resignation of the key personnel, resignation of directors. See, all these are indicative that there is something wrong, and thus the basic root cause analysis is done as early as possible, and you have to take the remedial measures as early as possible. Here where, friends, we really normally even the companies should indulge into getting their audit done. If at all there are some issues and the management feels not everything is all right, पता नहीं ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है. So I think the forensic audit, various methods of BAPT test, your drills and all that thing, I think that is very, very important to see how we as a banker can really address this issue. I can only say that the primary responsibility of all of us as a banker is to protect is that make the best use of the data science which is available today. Today, a lot of credit agencies are there. Get into that. I think once again, my sincere compliments to Mr. Hargovind for a wonderful presentation.
I will touch upon two things. One is, because the corporate, they used to do certain things which they try to some way or the other, they want to hide. So the information that the corporate debtor is having, probably all information may not be flowing to the commercial bank. Second issue that I want to comment, see, I'm giving an example of Larsen and Toubro. It has more than 500 subsidiaries.
So now I'll invite comments from the audience. Dr. Heber, you have to say something.
So it is a very wonderful tool for our future generations to derive knowledge and experience about the happenings inside various corporates.
And see that the credit officers are made aware about these things, that please see that these things do not happen again. So some kind of, in the case of we do on-site inspection of the accounts, then what kind of missing points can emerge, or how the behavior of the borrower is to be studied. All these things, I think we can document it as a guidance for the people who will be working in the credit department in future, and they can be made into a repository of
forensics.
I
where
see.
all these audit reports, they are sourcing from Big Fours and other approved IBA panelists. And those case studies, they are indoctrinating into young students tomorrow who will either become forensic auditors or leading bankers and investment bankers. So your point is absolutely valid. We have to create a generation of people who will inculcate financial discipline through forensic audit skills.
More. And more or less on the decision-making system, they're all, it's a very comprehensive group which takes a decision. And therefore, if there is a certain pattern or, one sees.
The independent directors, they are very, very severe on this. I had done one forensic audit for Union Bank of India for $20 foreign. And he was paying from there to $2 and $18 per seat, per flight, per day he had accumulated. Now he's eating that money abroad.
Very wonderful presentation, sir. And so many informations were there. The main thing was that all the things were covered in very simplest language. So it was very easy to understand to me. So, and it is going to benefit me to see the things in a better way, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Malviya.
Safeguard the interest of the bank.
Very pertinent point, sir. Fortunately, I have been Chief Vigilance Officer of two banks, that is UCO Bank and United Bank of India. What happens is, there are charges at times that they do a lot of window dressing towards quarter end. They will like to disburse 20 crores for one day and then take it back.